Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, we're gonna be watching the two true horror stories. Let's get started. There we go.
I used to play a lot of hide and seek with my friends when we were young. A
Mm-hmm.
team version of the game, though, so it was a little different.
Yep.
Instead of having a lone seeker who tags anybody, we would have a team of seekers and a team of hiders. And for the hiders to win, they would have to get to a certain checkpoint, and seekers would win if they tagged all the hiders.
Mm-hmm.
To tag one of the hiders, the seeker would have to two-hand touch their back, just like touch football. It started when we all formed our group on the block around 8 years old, all the way up until we were about 13. I lived in a cul-de-sac where there were three other houses besides mine, and kids my age lived in each one.
Mm-hmm.
There were also four other kids right outside the cul-de-sac around our age. So ever since I was little, I had a group of neighboring friends. When we would play hide and seek, we
Bonjour.
would usually play in the cul-de-sac,
Bonjour.
since there was a lot of open space, trees, bushes, and each of the houses belonged to one of us. So we could use all the property space for the game as well. Plus, the cul-de-sac was right in front of our town's nature preserve park, so it also made it more fun to have the woods as an added hiding spot. It was 2008. I was 11 years old, a time and age we would still play hide and seek on instead of going out to flirt with girls. We had only 6 of us, so we divided our two teams and split up. We were first to hide. The other team began counting from 1 to 30, while we all went our separate ways to different spots. I ran to my next door neighbor's house and came up with a really creative idea. My friend had a green blanket outside on his patio, sitting under a couple flower pots. I carefully moved the flower pots and took the green blanket, folding it over my body and crawling over to the bushes near the edge of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Since our houses met the edge of the nature preserve, we could all choose if we wanted a back fence or not, and my next door neighbors chose not to have one, meaning the woods connected to some of our backyards. I heard the backyard gate open, so I quickly ran into the woods and knelt down under the green blanket. I would occasionally lift the blanket over my head to see who was there, and eventually I saw one of my friends creeping around the backyard, checking under the table and such.
Yeah.
So while they were distracted, I waddled on my knees to the backyard of the next house over, where I could hear the commotion of one of my teammates getting caught. I lifted the blanket over my head to see what was going on, and I saw someone on the other team escorting my teammate back outside. This was the perfect opportunity for me to run for it. I dropped the blanket completely and just looked around one last time before getting ready to make a break for it. Then, the most unexpected happened. The sound of a tree breaking. Before I could even turn around, I felt two hands grab my shoulder very strongly. I squealed in pain for a bit, managing to keep my feet on the ground. I didn't make it to the next house, because I ran into one of the seekers right at the back door. We went out to the street, where I found out that both of my teammates were already out, and the two other seekers were already waiting by the street. Wait, I thought you guys were already out first. Who was the one who found me in the woods? I asked. They all looked at me. None of them owned up to it. They all swore they hadn't even gone into the woods. As I realized they were telling the truth, I felt my heart skip a few beats before pumping back up in a rapid beat, twice as fast as normal. When I told them that somebody was in the woods and grabbed me with force, they didn't believe me at first, but I convinced them. We all went to tell our parents, and the cops were called.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for my neighbor friend, his parents put up a fourth fence wall, separating the woods to the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
We continued to play hide and seek and flashlight tag past this incident up until around the age of 13. Our parents just made us carry flashlights from now on and left all the backyard lights on.
That's good.
And of course, the woods were off limits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to have such fond memories with friends as a young child, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that this was one of the most horrifying experiences of my life.
That's true. Oh my god, this was scary, guys.
when I was 10 years old. I lived in a small town in New York State that didn't have
Mhm.
much going on at all. The house next door to mine was vacant for the longest time, until one day a moving truck pulled up in front, and a woman, a kid my age, and a toddler stepped out.
Mhm.
Me and my dad had been sitting on the stoop talking, so we were able to go over and greet them right away. The mom seemed pretty normal, though there was something slightly off about her. My dad and the mom introduced me and the other boy my age to each other. He introduced himself and then reached out his hand for a handshake,
CG.
which for kids our age at the time was I shook his hand, and I remember both of our parents. My dad ended up. I wasn't against it, so I let him. I sat down on the blankly, creepily. I asked him if he wanted to start. He didn't even know what that was.
Boy,
I showed him a few of my video games, and he said he doesn't like video games.
what's wrong
So
with
I
it?
suggested
What's
we
wrong
play
with
hide
him,
and seek
man?
outside.
What's wrong with him?
That he agreed
They
to.
don't like video games.
I told him he
What?
could hide first to familiarize himself with the properties, while I gave him
They
a
like
60
hide and seek
second head
more,
start.
man.
He ran into his new backyard, and I
Mhm.
started counting down from 60. When it came time to find him, I found him in literally the most obvious place he could be.
Mhm.
He was standing behind the chimney, a spot that I had to pass to get into the backyard. From this point on, I was starting to wonder if maybe this kid wasn't all there.
Mhm.
After 10 minutes of an anticlimactic game of hide and seek, I said I had homework to do. He asked if he could come inside with me, and I didn't know what to say. Every excuse I came up with, he would find another way of asking me to come inside.
Mhm.
Eventually, however, he did leave me alone, and I went inside. Realistically, I had nothing to do. I just didn't like him. I didn't want to further any kind of friendship with him. That night, something I awoke to a thud at my bedside window.
Yeah.
I sat up and lifted the window up. I was disturbed to see DJ's face at the
This
upstairs
is so
window of the
scary.
neighboring house.
So creepy.
He leaned out his window and called us to come over and play hide
Hide
and
and
seek.
seek.
I yelled over he's insane and told him to go
Yeah.
back to sleep and leave me alone. I aggressively slammed my window shut, as well as the blinds, and tried to go back to sleep. Two more times a rock or something was thrown at my window, but I ignored it. When it seemed to stop, and finally felt at ease, 10 minutes or so later, I heard a noise coming from below my window outside.
Mhm.
It sounded like a bird was hopping around the ledge or something, possibly.
Mhm.
The sound.
That is kind of scary, man. Hope you guys like that, and if you do, please give this video a big thumbs up. Then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on my post notifications so you won't miss any of my video. And yeah, see you again next week. And follow me on all my social media. I'm gonna put in all my social media down the description below. And yeah, I see you guys again next week. Peace.